The Pasadena community can now enjoy a unique garden area, the Hastings Butterfly Garden. This charming garden, located at the Pasadena Hastings Branch Library, has become the place for butterfly watching as well as to read a good book or just sit and relax. The garden was created with the aid of District 4 City Councilman Steve Hatlin, Rhonda Stone, his field representative and project manager for the garden, and many other individuals and volunteers. Paula Sanchez joins us with more.
Hi, I'm at the Butterfly Garden at the Hastings Ranch Library, and with us is Councilmember Steve Hatlin. Can you tell us about this exhibit?
Sure. The Butterfly Garden that we have here at Hastings Branch Library is really a continuation of the re-landscaping efforts that started with the southern side of the branch and then moved north here to the what is the Butterfly Garden. The idea was sort of conceived and carried through by Rhonda Stone, who serves as the field representative in District 4. A lot of volunteers participated, both businesses and residents. Came together to create this space, and we certainly hope that the residents and the community enjoys the opportunity to sit and enjoy it, or perhaps read a book out here, or really sort of expanded the space of the library by creating this outdoor area that I think is quite nice. And
how did butterflies get started in with the library?
Well, that's probably Rhonda's preference, and as I mentioned, she was the one who conceived the idea, but as anybody who visits the site can see, it was a great idea. The butterflies have cooperated, and you'll see many of them here, different varieties. It also fits with a sort of water-wise, drought-tolerant theme that everybody is adopting for good reasons. And I think it kind of provides something for the kids, and really gives the kids something to kind of look into and get excited about, and maybe sparks a curiosity. It causes them to look it up in the books, and so there's sort of an educational piece that sort of fits well with that.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I very much appreciate all the efforts of the community and the library staff and Rhonda Stone for putting this together. And if anybody's looking for an interesting place to sit and read a book, I think the north side of Hastings Library has certainly transformed into that. It is a very pretty place to be.
Joining us now is Rhonda Stone, the project manager of the Butterfly Garden. Tell us about the garden.
Like every good project, it starts with research, and so that sends us into the library to begin finding out about butterflies. And what we did was we tried to find the butterflies that were common to this area, and we thought it would be very simple that we could just pick 5 butterflies and plant 5 plants, but we really wanted this to be a working butterfly garden. So when we got into the project, we began to think of all the elements that are needed for butterflies and for caterpillars and for all stages in the butterfly's life cycle. So we were able to bring in a water feature to provide water for the butterflies. We researched the butterflies, and we ended up with a long list. We were able to find some butterfly experts. We even have one who lives in the district, and they were all tremendously helpful in beginning. The project just began to bloom. It just began to grow, and it just was very exciting to do something that would just bring a lot of joy to whoever stopped in and happened to notice a butterfly.
I see that you're wearing a really pretty necklace of butterflies. Tell us about that.
It was a local find, and I just couldn't resist it because obviously it had butterflies.
And what are the response of families when they come here?
It's been exciting to see. Part of the project was the boulders that you see around here, and of course the butterfly chair that was a donation from KBC Management. But the response has been amazing because you see kids climbing and jumping off the boulders. You see them up in the water feature. You see them, parents coming and putting their children in the chair and taking photos. You see people standing around spotting the butterflies. People just seem to sort of relax when they get here. Everything seems to drop down a couple of notches. You see them bring books from the library. You can use your computer out here. And so it's just become like a little neighborhood park in a sense.
Joining us now is Joe Bruscius, plant expert from Magic Growers. Joe, tell us about the garden.
I should mention that butterfly plants fall into 2 categories, as we found out from research. The nectar plants, which feed the adult butterflies, and the host or larval plants that provide food and or cover for the early stages, the caterpillars, the larvae, the stages that come before the butterfly. Because remember, the butterfly is just the so-called tip of the iceberg. It's what you see after it's the last phase of growth for these creatures. So over here we have plants that not only fulfill the need of the larva and the nectar, but also they're very pretty to look at. And all the flowers that we have over here speak to that. There's blanket flower, there's verbena of several different types, there are coyote mints, there is another plant called butterfly bush, which is buddleia, and it's in full bloom over here. It's a plant that blooms in the middle of the winter with beautiful yellow flowers, and it's senna butter and cream. So there'll be something all through the year.
And do we see butterflies all year long as well?
There will be times when there are far fewer butterflies. Midwinter we'll have fewer, but there should be butterflies here at all times. Although, from what I understand from the butterfly experts, there are certainly times when they're going to be a lot less active and there'll be fewer of them. Because some of the butterflies migrate and they're passing through. Other ones are living and breeding right here in Pasadena with the rest of us.
Joining us now is John Barrios, landscape designer. Tell us about the design.
Basically, from an existing landscape, we usually based on the conceptual ideas, we went ahead and created the pathways, the new planter areas, the fountain, and the fountain is very interesting. It's actually created from a boulder which was donated from one of the local residents. There's an underground tank with a pump, and it's all solar powered, so it is green. So it's it's been a pleasure to be able to work on this. To see it now sometime later, it's just filled with all the insects, the birds, and it's heavily used not only by the insects and the birds but also by the residents.
This has been really great for the library and for the community and for our neighborhood. It's really wonderful to see little ones after they come from a story time or they come from a big program to run outside and run to the garden, and you can see them running around the fountain, you can see them identifying the different butterflies, and then you can see families sitting down and just resting near the garden and enjoying it and taking it all in. It's so aesthetically pleasing. And Rhonda shared with me a little story about one of the specialist that she consulted with, and the butterfly specialist, and he shared with her that when he was a little one, his family moved here to Pasadena in 1948, and they visited the Central Library, where at that time the library actually had a butterfly display, and also books. So he would come and enjoy the butterfly display and also enjoy the books there. And he said that it was really refreshing that the library now has this wonderful butterfly garden, and a new generation is getting a chance to enjoy butterflies along with the library, and I think that just speaks volumes for this garden and what it means to the library as a whole. It's really wonderful.
And did the librarians have to get trained in knowing about their butterflies?
Well, we're definitely being put on the spot when we have patrons come in and run and say, "What is that butterfly I saw out there?" So yeah, it's testing our knowledge of the butterflies, and we've definitely been trying to hone up our skills as much as we can and to be able to identify that monarch or the other ones that we see.
And what are you most proud of right now?
Seeing the community enjoy it and really take pride in it, and seeing it aesthetically add to the whole of the library. It's really wonderful.
This is kind of the way we've set up to enter the garden, and you notice it's ADA accessible. It was very important for us to have a way to get from the sidewalk in the neighborhood and the library on into the garden. On the side of the garden here you have our first butterfly bush. It's perfectly positioned and it's just gorgeous, and we see butterflies for nectar will feed off a variety of plants, and butterflies, by the way, do not grow. They just get nectar for energy for flight. All the growth really occurs during the caterpillar stage. To have a working butterfly garden, you need to make sure you have plants to feed the caterpillars. This is our food for the caterpillar, for the monarch, and we see monarchs landing on this already, but we're anxiously awaiting to see some eggs and to actually have the life cycle start here. What we have here is our water feature, and again, this is here just to provide this wildlife habitat for butterflies. We actually brought the boulder in. This was John Barrios, brought this boulder in cored it, and we were able to create a fountain here with solar panels. So we have solar panels mounted up here. So when the sun is shining, the sun rays hit the panel, we have a little water flow here. This is designed to be just gradual because that's what butterflies enjoy. And we've got a nice little horizontal platform for them to land on. And I put one of our passion vine flowers in the fountain. We have a passion vine planted in back here that will wrap around the bars and be close to the solar panel. It is actually the food plant for the gull flittery, the butterfly that we're trying to attract for that.
I'm sitting now in the butterfly chair at the Butterfly Garden. I'm Paula Sanchez. Now, Michelle, back to you.
Thank you, Paula. If you would like to visit this charming butterfly garden, it is located at Hastings Branch Library, 3325 East Orange Grove Boulevard.